to save the galaxy.
That's at what cost?
Don't miss this hour-long X-Men event next Saturday morning on Fox Kids.
Previously on X-Men.
Okay, let's talk about so this is another edition of the Saturday morning action cartoon. So since the hype of X-Men 97 is going around, I thought it would be a good addition for the Saturday morning action, well, not action cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, to talk about X-Men, the anime series. That actually the first one that appeared on Saturday morning cartoons. I did a review on X-Men Evolution a couple of years back. I may revisit that down the road, maybe in another video or another context, or give it like a second look type of thing. Who knows? We'll see. So let's talk about X-Men the anime series. What is there not to talk about this other than the intro, the Saturday mornings and all this stuff? This is probably gonna be my shortest video of it too. It's pretty much. So I'm just gonna give you like a brief history of how I saw the show, and I'll give you my review and stuff of it. I was a kid, and I remember this. I was just sitting at home, and Saturday mornings were my thing. So getting up Saturday mornings, watching cartoons on Saturday mornings. I always loved it. I was doing that for years too, until the last Saturday morning block of Vortex. I lost concept now. So anywho, I was watching Fox Kids at the time, and they were promoting this show, X-Men. I was like, X-Men, the fuck is this? Let me tell you, when that show aired, I was glued. I was in love. I said, yo, my favorite character was Cyclops. I didn't really care for Wolverine until a little bit later, but my favorite character was Cyclops. I didn't like the relationship between him and Jean, though. I thought that was kind of back and forth, and it got kind of annoying. My favorite female character was Rogue, then Storm, and then Jean, the Dark Phoenix. This show, at the time of watching it back then, I thought the show was just a very fantastical show. But watching the show, I'll say a couple of weeks ago, prior to watching X-Men 97, this show had a lot of hidden meanings that's dealing with discrimination, sexism, racism. We don't want your kind here. No mutants. And you're like, what? As a kid, it goes over your head, but as an adult, you're like, what are they talking about? Are they talking about races? You don't know. And it's very unique how they did it. I know Stan Lee said he made the X-Men because he was tired of doing Origins, but also over time they added the civil rights movement and kind of incorporated a little bit more of more of a racial political tone into it, and it worked. I think it really made the X-Men stand out from any other comic book because they were doing things that other comics weren't doing. They tackled things other comics weren't doing, and then you got eventually the Chris Claremont writing, and then Jim Lee. You add all that to it, and you had the animated series. I thought it was terrific. When you think of the X-Men, you think of Rogue, Gambit, Cyclops, Jean, Storm, Beast, and Wolverine. That's the team you think. That's the lineup you use in the live action movies because it's a popular lineup. Like I said, I thought the way they handled the show was perfect. From the Days of Future Past storylines to the Phoenix storyline, they had 5 episodes of the Phoenix Saga. 5 episodes. I rewatched all those. I was like, oh my God. I said, when is this over? But they really took their time to develop that story. That was uniquely done. Then the Dark Phoenix was only 4, but the Phoenix Saga was like 5. I was like, oh my God, that was pretty cool how they did that. And it was just great storytelling they were doing. They went from, they dealt with time travel, then they dealt with space. And like I said, the X-Men were, the anime series, they they were top tier, man. They were doing nothing. And then like when the world was going in, they had glimpse of Thor in the background. They had glimpse of Doctor Strange. You're like, who are these characters? Back then I was like, who are these people? Because they never mentioned them in the show. But when I got older and I rewatched the show a couple weeks ago, you're like, oh, like you see a lot of stuff. Like they did a lot. And I was just like impressed how the showrunners and people involved with the show handle it. The animation at times can be junky, and I will say the animation now is 10 times better than it was back then, but still it was a good show. Like I said, my favorite character was Cyclops, and I really, this show proved how badass Cyclops was, and I think 97 is proving the same thing too. I really have no issues with the show other than I wish it ended better, but hey, we got it in. We got 97 right now. I think they're knocking it out the park. They're 3 episodes deep. After 5, I'll say the show is up or down for me, but it's looking like it's up. They really done a good job with that, and I just want to give you guys my little review of X-Men, the anime series. I'm going to say 97, the one that started it all. I actually actually watched Wolverine and the X-Men a minute ago too, and I was like, the comparison was a little bit different. The problem with Wolverine and the X-Men was it's a very vocal point on Wolverine. However, I did like the fact that Wolverine and the X-Men was connected in a way to Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, and they did a couple movies called Hulk versus, and they had Hulk versus Wolverine that was connected to it. I thought that was pretty cool. But I mean, nothing tops the anime series, the X-Men anime series. I mean, from the intro, from just the storytelling, I mean, I loved it. I just love it. It's one of my favorite things out there. If I was a director and they told me I had to choose between choose between Superman, Spider-Man, and X-Men, that would be tough. But I'll have to choose the X-Men because there's so many stories you could tell with that. And Times About 2, they're my favorite. But I feel a lot of pressure. Like that film, let's say the film was supposed to come out in 2025. That film would have come out to 2027 because I would make sure every crackle, everything, every story, every line would be perfect because I'm a huge fan of the property. And, you know, it's just, I want to make sure it's good for the fans and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this Saturday morning, I guess you could say cartoon review of X-Men, the animated series, and comment below, let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys later.